How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
When people ask you what happened here, tell them the North remembers.
And here we go.
Welcome to Not Another Movie Pod. I'm Zach Williamson with Luke Goosens today. No Ross Cutsforth. Fortunately, our boy is moving to Boston, doesn't have his headphones, doesn't have his mic, so we're doing one without him, unfortunately.
Yeah, I love that guy. We're thinking about him. He's in our thoughts and prayers.
So big news, too. I know he's going to be sad we're doing this without him, too, but big news.
Yeah.
So Game of Thrones prequel pilot is close to being greenlit. It's not official yet. George R. R. Martin says it hasn't officially happened yet, but it's getting there. And it's going to follow, this is everything we know about it for sure. It's going to follow Targaryen history. It will start 300 years before the events of Game of Thrones. That came from Deadline. That was the first report. And Entertainment Weekly then said after that, it's going to and eventually include Dance of the Dragons, which is the Targaryen Civil War. And then that means we're going to see everything in between this. The one interesting part that I thought of this too was in the Deadline report. There was a part that said this could potentially be a new take on George R. R. Martin's Fire and Blood. And Fire and Blood, for listeners who don't know, that is George R. R. Martin's history of the Targaryens that he released, I think, last year. So, and then one other little thing is that George R. R. Martin says he expects to see the first cut of the Long Night prequel pilot very soon. He's been talking with Jane Goldman. And I assume they turn that into HBO. And if HBO likes it, then they pick up the whole season. And then there we go.
Damn.
Isn't that crazy, though? So they filmed the pilot, but they haven't even, like, that whole cast is just probably chilling out in United Kingdom somewhere, just waiting to see if they continue filming or not.
Yeah, what the fuck? That is so weird. Jay, you might have a job, but we'll see.
Yeah, you might have it. If it's trash, then they just can it. But
that'd be wild. Wait, so are they going to show are they going to show Aegon's Conquest?
Yeah, so from Aegon's Conquest, okay, so the Targaryen dynasty ended technically 283, because that's when Robert's Rebellion, they won. And so this is 300 years before that. If this is 300 years before the events of Game of Thrones, it'd be right when Aegon's Conquest started. And with that, that's when Aegon was over in Dragonstone. And he takes his two sister wives and their dragons, Balerion, who was at this time was probably over 120 years old because he was already alive during the Doom of Valyria. And then they had their two other dragons, Meraxus and Vhagar.
Yeah.
Who were younger, hatched later. And he didn't even have that big of an army too. He really didn't roll over with that much, but they had 3 dragons. And then they went on and conquered all 6 kingdoms. They didn't get Dorne though. That's what's kind of crazy too. It's just, even with just the conquests of Westeros, not including Dorne, that easily it was 2 years. It was 2 years in the timeline, and that could easily be 2 seasons.
Yeah, but 2 years. Wait, no. 2 seasons?
You don't think that okay.
They could make it into 2 seasons, but dude, if they're about to do 300 years of history, how the fuck are they going to do that?
Oh, that's what I mean, though. I just mean that Aegon's Conquest in this Targaryen show will be 2 seasons. That's how I think you'd have to do it. Just that part.
But if they're covering fucking 300 years of history.
So what do you think, that they would have to do Aegon's Conquest in 1 season?
Yeah, dude, they're going to have to do, each generation will have a season. I don't know, dude. Are you going to fucking spend that much money on Aegon's Conquest? You might as well just name it Aegon's Adventures.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about that. You'd have to put a big budget.
Has this one even gotten picked up? Yeah.
So this is the one that they haven't decided to greenlight it yet. And I that's what I think is just because they're probably thinking, okay, how do we do all this? Because for me, this seems like this would have to be the kind of show that would go, you'd have to do 10 seasons of this shit if you want to do their whole history. Because there's 100, and if you're going up to the Dance of Dragons, that's 130 years after Aegon's Conquest.
And do it well.
Yeah, and do it well. Like, if you want to flesh out this history, because I mean, if we go through this, even after he gets the throne, or he starts it, I mean, even after he starts it there, they didn't even beat the Dornish, so they didn't even go down there. So then they had to go 2 years later.
Yeah.
And
almost gets assassinated.
Yeah, there's so much shit. Like, there's 4 year. Yeah, at 4 AC, they start the first Dornish War, and that lasts 9 years. And his sister dies in that. Her dragon dies. They actually beat that, and they didn't actually even win that battle. during that time too, they try to assassinate him. That's why the Kingsguard is even made.
Yeah, dude, and that shit's crazy because then they bring the skull of the dragon to him, and then he instantly just says, "All right, I'm not gonna try to fuck with you guys anymore." You know, with a note, it's kind of fucking cryptic kind of shit. I don't know. It just sounds.
And they don't actually even know what is in the letter that was sent too. So that is something we would find out.
Yeah.
Like, what did he say that made him stop?
Yeah. Exactly. And then even after he dies, there's a power vacuum. There's fucking struggles within the fucking Seven Kingdoms.
There's straight Game of Thrones shit that happens when he dies. Because that's 20 years after the first Dornish War that he dies. Right after that.
When did he die? Like 32 or something like that? 32 AC? I thought it was like kind of soon after.
Okay, let's think about it. So 4 AC, he starts the Dornish War. That goes 9 years. So you're at 13 AC and then he dies. Yeah, probably right where you're saying. 20-something. Maybe a little after 20 years, he dies. And then immediately after that, his son takes the throne and then 4 rebellions start. The Faith of Seven get involved again because they're like, oh, he's an incest baby. He's marrying his wives or his sisters again.
Yeah, there's a fuck ton of shit to... Yeah, I know. It's totally like Game of Thrones shit. You could have a fucking whole season of just...
that kind of shit.
The time period from Aegon's conquest up through like 60 years.
That's what I'm saying. Because... And Aegon's conquest is the shortest part of all of this. That's 2 years. And then there's like 2 years where nothing really happens. And then they start the Dornish War. And that goes for 9 years. So...
Dude, he made such light work of the fucking... Westeros.
Everyone else, besides those fucking Dornish people, man.
Yeah, besides the Dornish motherfuckers.
Everyone else just gets washed. Yeah.
It probably was the Dornish that probably tried to assassinate him.
It was. They did.
Right?
They tried to.
Oh, it was the Dornish?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was unknown. I thought like... Okay.
I think that they were low-key behind it.
No, yeah, that's what I think too. I thought it wasn't like explicit that they were.
Yeah. So then that's crazy too, because then you jump to what his son had to deal with. And just his son, the whole time he was a king even, he was dealing with shit. He was only a king for 6 years and then he fucking died.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then there was a huge debate right after he died too, because it was either who's going to take it, his little brother who was in exile. He was kind of like a Balon Greyjoy. Oh, sorry, not Balon, Euron Greyjoy. He was in exile, comes back, and then fights his son and kills Aegon or Aenys' son. Aegon's son Aenys, that's his son who was king, and then he had his son.
And he came back to kill him.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember that fool's name too. It's like Maegol or something.
Dude, they all have some wild names. It's always like Maenys or Eris or fucking...
It's annoying too because they all have like the same fucking names.
And they all got a Y in the fucking name. It's like chill out on the Y.
Yeah, they got the AE in there.
Jesus.
And that guy was a dick too. He's the one who actually finished the Red Keep, but when he finished the Red Keep, he just killed all the workers. What a fucking dick.
What a fucking chode, dude. What the fuck?
I know.
Why? Wait, why?
Because he was just a crazy Targaryen, man. He's just a crazy fuck. He was exiled for a reason.
Classic crazy Targaryen. And then you go on to Dance of Dragons, and that's like a whole fucking season in itself too. There's a lot to cover.
And there's shit even in between all that. Then after all that happens, Jaehaerys, he's the first Jaehaerys who becomes king somehow after all this. And he's king for 45, 50 years. But then right when he is naming an heir, he names his son, who's Prince Aemon. And he dies right after he names him. So he's like, okay, do I name his daughter or do I name my other son? And his other son, his name was Balon. That's why I got confused. And he ends up choosing Balon, who then dies a fucking few years later.
Damn, dude. At that point, it's like, dude, all right, just name a fucking chick as the next heir.
I know.
Like,
and that was the big thing.
Don't be scared that it's a chick.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't want to name a woman back then. So that was one of the issues. So he ended up naming his grandson Viserys, who was Balon's son. And that finally is when you get to the Dance of Dragons era. So this is still like 100 years after Aegon's conquest.
Oh,
and there's
dude.
There's been 3 or 4 kings in between.
It's always after like a king has ruled for like 20 plus years, then there's always this fucking conflict.
Yeah, it seems when there's a nice long era of peace, then it bounces.
Yeah.
It just goes king to king to king super quick until it kind of evens out.
Yeah.
And then that's what happened too is Viserys, he only So then the Dance of Dragons, this is going to be in it apparently. He only had one surviving daughter. Her name is something
Rhaenra or something like that.
Yeah, Rhaenra. That's actually right, Rhaenra. And he names her, he says that she's the heir, but the problem is his wife has died, so he remarries and has 3 more sons. And then, of course, that girl is scheming, his new wife.
Fucking gold digging bitch. She just wants the throne.
For real, dude. And so she schemes. And then when Aegon, or what's his name, Viserys dies, she pulls a fast one. And right when he dies, she names him and his Kingsguard. They name his son, who also is named Aegon. This is Aegon II. They name him king.
I know, dude. They love that name. There's so many Aegons. There's like Aegon the fucking fourth, and then there's like Aegon the elder, Aegon the younger, Aegon the fucking dude. There's too many.
That's the confusing shit too, because even Rhaenra, her son was also named Aegon. They called him Aegon the younger during all this shit too.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's too much.
And Jon Snow, he would have been what, Aegon the Fifth if he had taken the throne?
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Fucking whack.
Oh my God. Chill. Jesus.
Yeah. And then that's the crazy part too, is that,
I mean, technically he is Aegon the Fifth. I mean, he doesn't, he doesn't need the title of king to make him Aegon the Fifth.
no, I think you only get the 5th title if you actually become king. Because there was also like cousins named Aegon and other Aegons who just didn't ever take the throne. So I think that there's been 7 or 8 Aegons.
Oh, is it? Oh, dude, it's too much. Chill.
He actually would have been Aegon the Sixth if Jon Snow had taken the throne. And to correct myself from earlier, it's pronounced Viserys, not Viserys. And they didn't actually call Aegon the Younger. He didn't go by Aegon the Third until after he took the throne because of just what happened to how he became king. Because he was son of Rhaenra, and there was the Targaryen Civil War, and she fucking died in it. She got eaten by Aegon II's dragon. The middle of the battle.
Fucked up, dude. Dude, that would have been gruesome. They would have just swallowed a fucking human whole, actually. That's probably not that gruesome.
I know, but I can't wait to see it if they do it. That shit's gonna be crazy.
A human is just like a fucking light snack for them. Just an easy snack for a fucking dragon.
And that's what's crazy, is that after all that scheming, it was wild that Aegon II, he actually became king. But within a year of him being king, he got poisoned by his council. So he wasn't even, neither of the actual people they were fighting for made it out of this war alive.
Dude, just so much fuck. It wasn't even worth it.
It's just some classic Game of Thrones bullshit.
Dude, they should have just had a family meeting, sat everyone down. They could have figured it out.
Well, they tried. She tried. She called, because she was in Dragonstone when Viserys died. She was in Dragonstone, so she didn't even know he died, and they pulled all that shit on her. And then she tried to do a meeting, and she wouldn't agree to let him be the king because her dad named her the heir no matter what. It was he was saying that even after he had that new family, she's going to be heir. She's going to take the throne after I die, no matter what. She's my heir.
Yeah, but that was like 20 fucking years before he died and shit,
Yeah, but he was saying it even after he had a new family and new kids. He was telling all of them.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. She was the rightful heir.
I know, and she just feels like the rightful heir because she's not, like, she's actually like full Targaryen, direct lineage, rather than outside the house like fucking Aegon II was.
I can't remember what her mom, what was her name? It was like Allison Hightower. So yeah, that's outside of it. You're right.
Yeah, Allison or something like that.
And she might have, dude, I don't know, but she was definitely more. The thing is, even if it was a little bit of a different line, it was like a cousin of the Targaryens that was somehow connected to her, like her parents.
Yeah.
So more. It
was definitely Targaryen blood.
Yeah, but she was the rightful heir. She was the one who was named by him, so she had every right. But she got fucking got.
Yeah, dude, she got, son.
So that shit's crazy. And I don't know how they're going to do it, dude, because that's a lot of story. That's 170 years. Game of Thrones, the TV show, what's that, 5 or 6 years that they went 8 seasons? There's so much shit that we just kind of did a rough summary. There is so much other shit that happens.
I know. I was just about to say everything we just talked about could have been an entire fucking show,
Its own story, yeah.
Yeah. Could have been an entire show fucking thing.
Yeah, like when this news broke originally, my first thought was, okay, sweet. They could do Aegon's Conquest and the First Dornish War. That's its own show. And then you could still do Dance of the Dragons. That's its own show.
It seems, yeah, exactly. They should be their own shows, but dude, it seems like they're going to have to do an anthology, right? That's where you do separate stories in each season, kind of like American Horror Story kind of thing.
I think you're right, dude, because you have to get a new, or that would be kind of crazy, huh? So you're saying maybe
that's what it's called, right? Anthology.
Yeah, anthologies where it's a new story, but
each season, but it's within a season, right?
It's part of the show. Yeah.
That's what they kind of have to do, but like that's going to be hard to like revive or like make you invested in these characters just within one season.
Yeah, that's why I think you would have to do it, is that you have to keep going you have to keep continuing. So after Aegon dies, you do whatever, all the crazy shit that happens then, and you have to do that whole story. You have to make it, because that even right after he dies is very Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? It's very people scheming and people taking sides.
It just seems like it's going to be so sped up, like way more sped up Game of Thrones. It just sounds like it's going to be hard to do well.
Yeah, that's probably why they haven't decided to greenlight this show yet, because they're probably saying, well, dude, how the fuck do you guys, like George R. R. Martin, how do you want to do this much history in one show?
Yeah, especially after people even thought that fucking Game of Thrones was rushed. They thought the ending of Game of Thrones was rushed, and I was like, what?
Yeah,
10 years?
Yeah, it was 10 years pretty much from start to, I mean, it's 8 seasons, but that took 10 years. Yeah. So
it's going to be hard. I don't know.
And you have to do a different cast for all these stories.
Yeah, you can't switch it up like fucking American Horror Story where you can keep reusing your cast, because then you're like, well, that's fucking stupid. You know, if you see this one actor playing 3 different characters in 3 different seasons, like this doesn't make sense. This doesn't add up.
Yeah, and then American Horror Story, it's more those are loosely connected. I mean, I think some of the seasons were directly connected, but those are more.
Yeah, they don't build off each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this needs to build off each other in order for us to like stay invested in it.
Yeah. At least with this one though, there's a lot of source material.
Yeah. There is.
So you would, if you know the story, you kind of know where it's going to end up going, but it's just, and then the other thing, dude, the budget on some of these seasons, dude, how do you have to have dragons in all this story. There's dragons throughout.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And Balerion, that fool was huge. He's the biggest dragon of all time.
They'll probably have like one shot of him. Come on, dude. Like,
he was so big, he'd block out the sun, man. He was fucking massive.
Yeah, dude. That's going to take a lot of... Is there any... Has there been any information on how... no, there probably isn't. Like on how long they want the seasons to be or anything. If they haven't greenlit it, I feel like they don't have that info.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think if you're gonna greenlight a show, you want it to go. If you're gonna greenlight another Game of Thrones show, you want it to go at least 5 seasons, right? I'm thinking with Lord of the Rings, that already has a 5-season. That's already greenlit 5 seasons. And you're in the fantasy market. That's a direct competitor. You want to be competing with that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, dude. I'm kind of that's almost the thing too, is everyone wants so many more Game of Thrones show. And I'm thinking, okay, if you greenlight this one, then maybe you shouldn't do a third one after this. You should just try to see how you go with these 2, because I don't know. It's kind of risky too, especially with how Game of Thrones ended.
And it sounds like oversaturation. Like you're just coming out with way too much shit. It's like less is more with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I kind of get it though, because you have HBO Max now too, though. They need shit for their streaming service. They need shit that people are going to be like, I'm going to get HBO Max because they have these Game of Thrones shows coming. You know what I mean? You got to compete with Disney Plus, all these other things, Netflix.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. If just because the studio's pushing something doesn't mean that it's going to be good. It's probably going to be worse because the studio's pushing it, you know? They're like, hey, we need to get this out now, you know?
That's a good point. I don't think they're going to do that either. I think what they said
it's going to hurt the end quality.
Yeah.
It just makes me feel like that.
Actually, thinking about it now, I think the HBO chief, he said that they wouldn't put these out if they didn't think that they were really good. That's probably why they haven't even greenlit the Long Night one.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seems like they're really taking a good hard look at it. And especially if George R. R. Martin's working on all these
Yeah,
projects,
he is. Yeah, he's very involved.
he's kind of overextending himself.
Well, what he did is he's hiring writers that he trusts to do this, to do these things. Like with the example with Jane Goldman, he pretty much signs off on, hey, yeah, this is what would happen in that world. But she's the one controlling all the editing and writing. And she sends him stuff and then he will contribute to that, the writing.
Okay.
Same with this other guy. What's his name? Ryan Condal.
Oh,
For the Targaryen one.
Less is more. We'll see. We'll see, man.
I feel like, though, I'm more excited to see this than I'm really excited for the Long Night one for that era too, just because it sounds really different. It sounds very like wild, you know, with all these. They said there's supposed to be 100 kingdoms in the Long Night one.
Yeah,
but this shit just has dragons and just we always hear about it. You hear about Aegon's conquest all through the show, and it's like, okay, that'd be really cool to see all that shit.
Yeah, we know a lot about the Targaryens, but the Long Night, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of film, a lot of blanks to be filled in.
Yeah, it's a lot longer. It's a lot longer era. It's the Long Night. Oh, so the Long Night is what that happened in 2000. That happened 2,000 years after the Pact. It was like 100 years tops. No.
Yeah,
it was a generation.
The Targaryen rule is like really fucking short in comparison to the entire
Age of Heroes.
history.
Yeah. The Age of Heroes was 4,000 years. Targaryen rule was 300 years. Big difference. The Long Night was a generation. I got that.
Dude, the fucking
imagine that shit.
Targaryens were weak, dude. Them and their dragons were ain't shit.
I know they didn't hold that shit for. You had fucking dragons and you blew it.
Yeah, because they just kept wanting to have sex with each other and just dick around.
That was what we forgot to say too, is that the Dance of the Dragons is actually kind of what caused the whole everything with the dragons in Westeros to go really down, because they killed, most of them died in that war, the Civil War.
Oh.
Yeah, and then they completely died out within 50 years after that. So that was kind of their downfall.
Yeah.
And then right after that was another Dornish war, right after the Dance of Dragons.
Oh, dude, they were spread thin.
Yeah, they didn't reload. It's just hard to breed dragons as it is too. So there wasn't even that many. There was probably 200 maybe? That'd be a lot even.
200 dragons?
I think at their peak.
Oh, in total. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you should look that up right now.
Yeah, that's a good thing to know for sure.
Yeah, that is a good thing. Dude, 200 dragons. That's so fucking many. They're probably, dude, that'd be a bad time to fucking raise livestock. Like, I wouldn't want to be a rancher back then.
No fucking way, dude. They'd get swooped on.
Oh, dude, hell no. It would suck to be a fucking dairy farmer, a rancher.
This says that they had 19. They had at least 19 in their family.
Oh, that's still a lot, dude.
It's a lot of dragons.
200 was a wild amount.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. They'd have to be breeding like crazy in those 100 years.
It'd be fucking.
Sometimes they die really young. I know when the Doom of Valyria happened, they brought 5 over, including Balerion, and 4 of them died. And then they hatched 2 eggs. So they had 3.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and we'd get like, that's another little thing, like how fucking Daenerys's eggs came to be. Doesn't that happen during the Targaryen dynasty? That's
the first time that ever happens. That's some magic. It's literally a crazy thing how that happened.
Oh, how do they normally hatch? Just love and affection?
Just normal. Those eggs were dead. They were like petrified.
What's normal, dude?
They lay an egg and then it fucking hatches.
Like they got to sit on it and incubate it?
Yeah, dude, I don't know the whole lore on. I don't know that shit, honestly.
They gotta shit a turd out onto it.
They go chicken style and they just chill on it for 9 months or however. 9 months. Nah, it wouldn't even be that long. I don't fucking know.
The dragon takes a turd on the egg and keeps it warm until it hatches.
We need to get George R. R. Martin on the pod and ask him.
That'd actually be sick. Hey, George, we're the biggest Game of Thrones pod. You're going to have to come on, bud.
Yes, sir. And where's the end of the fucking books?
Yeah, then we can spank his little ass and say hustle up, dude.
I know that man still, he says he's going to make 5 more books like in the world of Game of Thrones, or sorry, A Song of Ice and Fire.
He's going to fucking have a heart attack before he writes one more book.
How old is this man?
I don't know, but he's round. If we should be fat shaming anyone, it's George R.R. Martin, because he needs to get skinny before he writes another book, or else he's going to die soon.
He's 70.
And that's out of love. That's out of love, not
I
out
know.
of...
We need him to stay alive. We need the end. We need to have to see how it ends.
I know. Someone get him a personal trainer ASAP. We can start crowdsourcing or whatever.
Okay. Any more on... Oh, we got some fan questions, actually. Are there going to be 1-season series? No. Definitely. I don't think if you greenlight... If these shows happen, I don't think that they're just one-offs. Not like...
Well, it can't be a fucking series if it's one season.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah. Definitely. You're right.
Because then you have to have a different name for each series, in quotations, because it's not...
Well, actually, no, that's not true. It's like the MCU shows, those are going to be series, right?
But are they one season long?
Yeah.
Are they?
Mm-hmm. Like Captain Winter Soldier, those are just one-off seasons, series.
Oh.
It's okay. That makes sense. But yeah, I don't think they're going to be one season. I don't think if you go through the trouble, because dude, there's no way you tell all the story in one season. That would be...
There's no fucking way. There's no way in French hell.
Yeah, what the fuck? It would have to just be the big battle. Dude, there's no way. I don't even want to like think about it because it's not
yeah,
possible.
because it'd be bad. Because it'd be bad.
And then George also asks, are they going to be released one by one? I think you're going to see, okay, well, obviously we're going to see the Long Night one first. If a series gets ordered, the pilot is finished. Eventually HBO is going to approve it probably this year.
Yeah.
And then I expect we see that one, dude, maybe end of 2020. That's the earliest, right?
The Long Night is going to be the closest one. That's the one we're going to see first.
Yeah, definitely. But think about it. So even if they approve this series, let's say next month, that's fucking October. Then you start filming. Filming is going to take 3 months to do a season.
Oh, it takes that quick? I thought it'd be like a year.
Okay, yeah, you're probably even more. Okay, so
is it really that short to film a season?
maybe just the filming part, but then I was saying post-production, that's going to take...
Yeah, editing, you're right. Editing always takes the longest.
Yeah, because they said they filmed this pilot. They shot the pilot in June or July, and she's almost just now done with the pilot edit. That's been 2 months. So...
Oh, geez, Louise. Well, yeah.
Like earliest we see this is end of 2020, I think.
And that's one episode.
Yeah, I'm more expecting it now at this point to be spring 2021, which is fine with me because I think, I want you to get it right. You got to get this right if you're going to really do this.
Yeah.
But you don't want it to be also too far away that people just don't give a shit anymore. So I don't know. If you can, I would get it out end of next year. Yeah, we'll see.
End of next year, 2021?
Like fall or winter 2020.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's quick. That's soon.
About a year. That's what I would shoot for if I were them.
Even that seems like kind of quick.
It does. You think so?
A year to do all that shit?
Just because this show has been in development for a year now. I don't know. I figured that, hey, if you filmed a pilot already and then they edit it and they like it.
But it hasn't even gotten greenlit yet.
The pilot hasn't been, the series hasn't been ordered yet. But I think that as soon as you order it, that shit's going to start within a week or two production. You don't think so?
I don't know how show business, bro.
Yeah, I think that you'd want to do this because you're launching HBO Max and you need this kind of content up on there.
When does HBO Max air or come out?
They're considering April 2020 for launch.
That's almost perfect with what you're saying. They come out in April 2020 and then by the end of the year,
no, April 2020, that's only 7 months away.
What do you mean?
So you can get this out within 6 months after you drop it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, like by the end of the year, by December of 2020.
Yeah. I think that's what you need to do. Yeah. If I'm HBO, that's what I'm shooting for, trying to get that out there because that's going to be your biggest, for me at least, just as far as new content, that's something that would make me be like, I need to get HBO Max. Yeah. I can't remember everything they have on it. I know we've talked about it on past pods. If you want to hear the whole HBO Max slate, check back in our timestamps in one of our recent pods. Because I know we went over a ton of streaming stuff.
I mean, yeah.
HBO's quality anyway. I think I'd get it anyway. I love most of their shows.
I was going to say, most of HBO shit is pretty good.
Yeah. It's not like Netflix where Netflix puts out fucking duds all the time.
I know. They literally just fucking throw shit on the wall and see what sticks. That's just the way they
Exactly, dude. They really do. They'll put out anything just if they think if it's people will watch it or talk about it.
Which is an interesting business method. It's making them money.
I think you need someone like that. Yeah, you need someone like that. That's what makes them stick out is that, hey, you're going to get new content with Netflix every week. Whereas Disney Plus, we've been hyping up Disney Plus, but it's literally The Mandalorian comes out in November, and then they don't even have a MCU show for a year.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Falcon Winter Soldier is not projected to come out till fall 2020. Starts filming next month.
That's wild. Yeah, but on Disney Plus, they're going to have all the fucking Disney archives.
Yeah, they will.
Know? So there's a fuck ton of shit that they can fall back on. It's not that big of a deal for them. They don't have all these original shows. They don't need that.
You don't think that they need that?
No.
For me, that's still what is a big draw for me is what else? What are you coming with immediately or what are you coming with soon? Because am I going to sit here and watch Disney movies forever?
Dude, do you know how many people fucking love Disney movies? Every parent in their fucking right mind is going to get Disney Plus because they be able to show their kids all these movies.
I'm talking about
kids will love it. That's the easiest shit to do. That's so smart.
That's one demographic though. I'm talking about us, like you and me. Are we going to be sitting there watching that shit? We're getting this because we want Star Wars. We want fucking MCU.
Yeah, Natalie will be.
Pixar. Well, yeah, 100%. Our girlfriends will be.
Yeah, exactly. There's another demographic.
True. Okay.
There's a lot. Disney doesn't need to fucking appeal to mid-20s fucking males. Come on, gay.
You don't think so when you have those Star Wars and MCU, that kind of shit that you need to be putting out shit. What's going to make that group come back all the time while they're waiting? I don't know. We'll see.
They got so much to fall back on. They don't have to worry about that. They can be like, all right, we can make this quality and then we can put it out when we want to.
Okay, for sure. I don't disagree. Okay, next question. At BMelgren96, can you explain the time frame of the prequel so far? Mainly Age of Heroes and Doom of Valyria, which we're not going to talk about Doom of Valyria on this pod. We're going to wait until Ross is back to do that one because I know he really wants to talk about that shit. So,
yeah, he's got a big Doom boner.
Oh, yeah, he does, dude. But that area is crazy. The shit with all the Valyrians before, with the Valyrian freeholds, straight Roman shit. I'm pretty sure that's what George R. R. Martin was inspired by when he wrote it. But we'll get into that next part.
And hella dragons. And the Targaryens were little bitches back then,
They were. They weren't even a top house at all. Imagine
the top house.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Imagine 40 houses and they're middle tier. But there's all these other bigger tier houses with dragons and shit, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You talking Targaryen? I'm talking Tar who, boys.
You a fool. Okay. But yeah, so anyway, Doom of Valyria, that actually happens 114 years before Aegon's conquest. And there's a whole thing that goes on in Essos, even in those years in between the 100 years, because when Valyrians die, crazy shit goes on. Everyone's fighting for power out there. Before that, the Age of Heroes, that's kind of a range. It's between, let me think. The Age of Heroes is about 10,000 before Aegon's conquest, and it goes all the way to 6,000 before Aegon's conquest, because that's when the Andals invade. Because they dip out of Essos because the Valyrians are just going crazy trying to take over everything. They're like, we can't fucking compete with dragons, so we're going across the sea.
Oh, that's why they went to invade Westeros.
Yeah, dude, they had to get out of there. Some of them stayed and they got washed.
Really?
Yeah.
They got washed.
If Doom of Valyria didn't happen, then they would have taken over the whole world for sure.
Damn, dude, good thing that happened. Or maybe not good thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Essos is way cooler than Westeros, though.
It's bigger, man. It's just, that's what I'm saying, dude.
There's way more shit happening in Essos.
When all this news was dropping and we were posting it on Thrones Facts and just all of our pages, people would just be like, it doesn't matter because of how the story ends. There's so many stories in this world. The Game of Thrones story, that's one thing in this massive world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You do Essos, you do Sotoros. There's other continents that we don't know shit about, dude. He hasn't even written stuff about it yet.
Yeah, people are just attached to the Game of Thrones thing because it's the first thing they ever saw about this world, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And it's a great show, and it maybe didn't have the best ending, but it's just there's so much more story to go. It's exciting. Real Shrek wanted to know, how did we think they would do the budget with all these dragons, and what if they did shorter seasons? Luke, they do 6 or 7 episodes, and then you're able to up the budget for these. Although I really think HBO Max if you have your streaming service, you're going to put even more money into this shit. It might even be higher budgets than what they gave Game of Thrones.
Dude, no, that doesn't make sense. How are you going to get invested in these characters when you've only seen them for 5 episodes, 6 episodes?
Yeah, you're totally right, dude. They'd have to do, like, if you do Aegon's Conquest, you got to do 2 seasons.
Like, I don't give a fuck how much CGI is in it. You know, I care more about the characters than I care about the CGI. The characters are what drives the story.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. I won't give a fuck if you shortened it.
Okay, that's a good take.
What do you?
I don't know. You're right, though. It's totally hard to develop and make you interest and make you want to see, like, how do you make Aegon the Conqueror, dude? He was kind of a dick too. So it's just, how do you even root for this guy anyway? You probably wouldn't. You're probably rooting for some of these other houses and shit, but how do you build up those characters in only 6 episodes? So yeah, I don't know. You'd probably, the answer is you have to put in a big budget on this shit, and fuck, man. Because there's gonna be a lot of battles if you're doing just Aegon's Conquest. But that's what I'm thinking. Maybe, okay, if you're fleshing out the whole history, then you front it and you do huge budgets for that first part, Aegon's Conquest, the Dornish War, the first Dornish War. And then when you do start of kind of that Game of Thrones, very everyone's scheming kind of shit that you see the first couple of seasons, then you don't need as much budget.
Yeah.
And then you front it again by the time you get all the way to Dance to the Dragons. Dude, you got to go in, put in a fat budget, because this is going to be the end of your story. Unless they decide to go past, but I don't think they're going to really go past Dance to the Dragons, because after that it's the next Dornish War, and then it's pretty much what we know is that what happened right before Robert's Rebellion.
Oh yeah. But I figured if you're doing a Game of Thrones based show, they're gonna throw a bunch of money into it.
Yeah.
Regardless, you know, they already know that Game of Thrones made them a shit ton of money, so they're like, all right, let's just dump money into this. So I don't think the budget's going to be that big of a deal. They'll probably will throw a fuck ton of money.
Game of Thrones season 8 had a reported $90 million budget for 6 episodes. Breaking Bad had, by the end of its run, was $6 million. I only know that just because I was reading that shit on the movie today.
They only spent $6 million on it.
That was its peak. It had $6 million per episode. Was the last season 5.
Oh, how much?
It was way less usually.
Way less. I guess that makes sense. They didn't have any CGI they needed to do.
I'm not sure about season 7 for Game of Thrones. I want to say it was 15 million around. I don't know. I don't know about season 7. I can't remember any.
15 million?
An episode.
It went from, per episode?
Yeah.
Wait.
I can think of one thing to compare it, though. This is what I was going to say, is the Lord of the Rings one. That has a 200 million budget for its first season.
Holy French fuck, dude. What? Damn, Jeff Bezos is literally just fucking dripping milk out of his nipple right now to fucking make that shit. Holy shit.
Dude, he knows he has to kill that shit, though. I mean, think about it. Amazon, what does Amazon truly have compared to a lot of these other things?
They don't have one damn thing, dude.
They don't have that show that's that cultural phenomenon. You know what I mean? Cultural phenomenon. Like,
I'm surprised Jeff Bezos didn't just buy The Office or something just to get something big on there.
He fucking tried, dude. They tried.
No one's just like, oh, I really need to get Amazon Prime just so they get, Amazon Prime Video or whatever.
Yeah, but the smart thing that Amazon Prime does is they package it with their service. That's the only reason why I ever got it.
I know. Dude, I didn't even realize I had Amazon Prime Video until they sent me an email. I'm like, oh, fuck. I get fucking Amazon Prime Video? I'm like, this is fire.
They have actually good movie selections, but you're totally right. They don't have that shit they don't have that show that makes people go and get their streaming service because they're like, we need to watch this. I need to be in the conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what he did. He fucking was like, all right, we're going to go buy Lord of the Rings.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah, and I respect that. And he probably knew that the streaming
dumped a bunch of money into it.
Yeah, he committed $1 billion to 5 seasons, $200 million budget every season.
Holy fuck.
But he probably was thinking, okay, everyone's going to start making all these streaming services. We got to have something to compete. We got to have something that people are going to stay with us.
Yeah.
So I respect it. And we know that, I forgot to say that they're filming that in New Zealand. Just a little update on Lord of the Rings prequel series. They're filming in New Zealand just like they did the movies, all the
That's
movies.
Dope. Not a lot of fucking CGI.
Yeah, I mean, real
like
fields.
Yeah, The Hobbit had a lot of CGI.
It did. And
just like Star Wars, we were just talking about this, the The less, honestly, kind of the less CGI, the better.
I think
It just makes shit feel real. It stands the test of time.
that's what Ross was saying the other day, is that it just holds up better in the long run. And he's totally right. And
All the old Star Wars cantina scene, that it all stands the test of time, you know.
And the best ones are mixing it a little more, doing the newer Star Wars movies. They did a lot more real sets, real effects.
Yeah.
Okay, we're jumping around here. What were we fucking?
What the fuck were we on, Chief?
We're talking budgets, right?
Budget, yeah.
If you give this shit 150 million budget, though, you could still do 8 to 10 episodes.
Oh, you're talking about
for the Targaryen show. I'm mostly talking about the Targaryen show because I feel like that one is more. That's the one you have to put this crazy budget behind.
Yeah.
Whereas the Long Night one's not going to have. You're not going to have dragons in the Long Night, so you don't have to worry about that for one.
Does HBO have the budget for that though?
They have to.
What? Where do they make their money?
Subscribers.
I know, but besides HBO making money on their fucking streaming,
HBO has 140 million subscribers. So what's that? 15 a month. The HBO Max is going to be around 14. 15.
But dude, HBO literally doesn't have anything. They don't even have boxing anymore. That was like their big thing. And now why would they shut down their boxing? That was like their thing for a while.
Who bought boxing though? Wasn't it ESPN or something? Who does boxing now?
It's like DAZN and ESPN. I think you're right.
Probably because Disney's throwing that money at boxing. They know people want that shit.
Dude, HBO's going to be they better find, HBO, that's what they're doing right now. They're scrambling because they need to find their next big show.
Yeah.
Dude.
But they have it, man. Like if they do Game of Thrones right, they could live off this franchise for at least 10 years, another 10 years.
Yeah, and they have Westworld, which people do love.
Westworld's pretty good. Westworld, it's pretty good quality show. They got a bunch of shit, though. We're not even shit that we don't watch. That they have a good quality stuff that for everyone. You know what I mean? Other niches that maybe we don't watch. I watched that Euphoria show. That was pretty good, too. That one was getting 5-6 million views an episode. Brand new show. So I don't think that they're going to be hurting, but they do need to still have, Netflix has Stranger Things, even though that's ending soon. Amazon's about to have Lord of the Rings. Disney's going to have Star Wars and the MCU. It's just, everyone's got to have that big thing.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's trying to find their big thing. They're trying to differentiate quick.
Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so that's pretty much it for fan questions. We covered everything else just talking. So switching over to some DC shit. Matt Reeves' Batman, it will reportedly adapt to Long Halloween, which we've seen some elements used in The Dark Knight and Batman Begins. They had Falcone, who AK is Holiday in this storyline, and Harvey Dent's storyline, how he becomes Two-Face, is in the Long Halloween, or it starts planting the seed. So
well, it's different though in the Dark Knight.
Oh yeah, it's just he borrows elements, is what I mean for the Dark Knight.
Oh, okay.
But this sounds like this is going to be more.
So will we see a new Harvey Dent to Two-Face transformation?
There's been a lot of rumors that Harvey Dent's going to be in this, and the one that I've been hearing, the rumor wise, was John David Washington, who's going to be in Christopher Nolan's next movie, Tenet. He's a great actor. That's Denzel Washington's son. We've talked about him on the pod a few times before. If he's that's some good ass casting.
Who's he going to be?
He'd be Harvey Dent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we know in this storyline too, there's Catwoman's in it. That's been rumored too. We're going to see that. The Joker's in this story though, but I don't see them using the Joker, right? Because we're about to see the Joker on screen. You wouldn't want the Joker again that close.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. And they have plenty of other villains to put into this.
Sorry, it comes out 2021, June 20th, 2021.
That's a long ways.
So maybe
they could have a Joker. Maybe just
maybe a smaller role.
I was gonna say it'd be like a side role. It definitely would not tie into the main plot.
Yeah, because the Long Halloween is more of this. It has a lot of villains in it, but they're more still mobsters that as they become the super villains. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I think we've talked about this before. That if you threw a ton of main baddies, it would be shit. Spider-Man 3, it'd be like Amazing Spider-Man go.
It would be fucking what is that fucking Batman movie? Not Batman Forever.
The shitty one with
What is the name of that Batman movie, dude? It's
George Clooney one. What's the name of it? Batman and Robin.
with fucking Schwarzenegger as Dr. Freeze, fucking
Mr. Freeze
or Mr. Freeze, fucking dude.
Yeah, with the fucking Batman nipples and shit.
Oh, Bat Nibbles, yeah, George Clooney, fucking. Is it Batman and Robin?
It is Batman and Robin. I looked it up. So camp.
Yeah,
Worst Batman movie.
Bad, so bad.
Yeah, dude.
Bat nips.
Yeah, it would not be good. Yeah, it just wouldn't be good if you had it that they are literally all villains going against you. But if it's just, hey, it's this young Batman who it's not brand new Batman, but it's more he's been Batman for not that long, a year or two, and he's doing his detective shit. It's a noir story. He's investigating, and he has to go to all these villains to get clues and figure out this story. And that's what's driving it. That would be cool.
And that's how it is in the Long Halloween, right?
Yeah.
They go to these baddies before they're super villains. They're more on their come up, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, some of them are. Some of them are already there, but not all of them. Yeah, you're right. Like
Okay. Yeah, but they still have like Poison Ivy, the Riddler.
The Riddler, I think, was in that story, and then there's some that are locked up that he has to go to and get clues for.
Oh, like that fucking murderer dude. Oh no, he's the dude that's driving the story, huh?
Holiday, yeah, because he kills on holidays.
Yeah,
That's the whole thing. He kills someone on Halloween.
Yeah, that's it. Solomon Grundy.
That could be another way too. You get the villains in if he's visiting him in prison.
Oh, dude, he keeps going back to Arkham
Island.
Yeah, that would be dope. And then he has to talk to. Oh, that'd be sick. That'd be cool.
See, there's easy ways that you can get a lot of these villains in, and it's not too much. I'm really excited for this movie, honestly.
It's going to be cool as fuck.
It seems like DC is really... Dude, I'm not even going to lie. I might be a little more excited for DC the next couple years than I am the MCU. Is that... Are people going to hate me for that?
Maybe.
I mean, we got this Joker movie. This shit looks dope.
It depends how good it is. I know, dude. All these memes of the Joker dance next to Tobey Maguire.
That shit is hilarious.
It makes me feel like it's gonna be cheesy already. I'm like, fuck.
Dude, I don't know. We'll see, man. I mean, there's a lot of good reviews coming out of it, and I think that there's a lot of people being really ridiculous too, saying that, oh, this is a bad sign. This is gonna make people do shit. It's like, dude,
people are already talking about shootings and shit.
Yes, yeah, it's getting bad reviews. Some of the bad reviews I've read are very PC like that. That's what it's gonna cause. And it's like, dude, it's a fucking comic book movie. There's been movies about killers and shit for years.
Yeah, dude, there's been fucking horror movies about mass murderers. Are you serious?
Yeah,
whatever.
So whatever. I think it's gonna be good. And then you got even Birds of Prey could be good. We'll see. It could be good. I'm being optimistic about it. And then Wonder Woman, that's next year too. That should be good. Then we got Batman the year after that. So we'll see. MCU, what's MCU? Black Widow, that could be pretty good. But the MCU movies I'm really excited for are more towards the end of this next phase, with like Doctor Strange 2, Thor 4.
Yeah.
Those are at the very end, tail end of phase 4.
Yeah, those are big storylines that we want to know more about.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. It could end up being a little shift in the...
they're not prequels. They're like shit that happened after Endgame.
Yeah, and who knows if Joker does really well, let's say it makes 90, 100 million its first weekend on a 55 million budget, you might start seeing more rated R DC movies getting greenlit too in the next couple of years. Just more gritty shit that we were talking about.
Oh, the Joker's rated R?
This one? Yeah, dude. Rated R.
Oh, dude, this is going to be good. Oh, fuck me up, dude. I can't wait.
Rated R, baby.
Rated R, baby.
Yes, sir.
Dude, I'm down as fuck.
All right. Anything else on the Joker? We're going to talk about more of that. We're going to review that for sure, listeners. So go see that week 1. I'm actually going to be at Comic-Con that week. So I'm going to try to go to it though.
Bitch ass motherfucker.
I know, I'm hyped, but I'll probably see it that weekend too. So we'll record the Sunday or Monday after I get back.
Yeah. Me and Caleb are going to go see it together.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Moving on. So this is something that we talked about for our listeners who listened to the part about It Chapter 2. We were really confused just why they didn't show, like what the fuck Mike was doing that whole movie. But apparently in some of these images there's an art book that came out and they showed his flashback in that. And it was actually in the trailer. It's the part where Pennywise jumps out of the wall and he's kind of dancing on the wall and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just didn't make the cut. And I'm sure there's a ton of shit that didn't make the cut that we're going to see. Even that fucking other image did you look at that other image, Luke? The one of
which one? I looked at all of them. Yeah, which one?
The one where she's out there by the lake or whatever, and they hold hands, and then what's her name?
Oh, and Beverly starts fucking turns on fire, and
Beverly turns into the clown. Yeah, I feel like
yeah. No, she doesn't turn into a clown.
Well, she has that clown, dude. She has the face on fire.
Her face goes like fucking turns on fire. Doesn't become a clown.
She turns into that skull fuck. What's that superhero? The Nick Cage one?
Oh.
You know what I'm fucking talking about? Ghost Rider, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. That skull fuck.
So I think that they just repurposed that into what we actually saw in the movie. That was just like a different take. The director wants to do a supercut and combine both movies and do like a 5 or 6 hour cut. It's like, damn, dude, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. Well, I see why they cut it because Mike was already the ringleader. I already assumed when, I watched the movie that he'd already gone through his shit or something. Yeah. Like it was about seeing the other characters go through their shit more than Mike because Mike had stayed in Derry. So
it would just been another jump scare.
Yeah, exactly.
I get why you cut it.
I didn't think it was that big of a deal when I watched it, but I think the supercut would be cool.
The supercut
which makes sense. Which makes sense. And the movie was already a fucking 2 hour and 50-minute movie. It was already a 3-hour movie. Dude.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some cool shit they had to cut. Some cool Pennywise scenes. He was saying too that he won't really say what it is, but I'm pretty sure there's 2 more. He wants to film 2 more scenes because he has it under contract with New Line. And I bet they're going to be Pennywise scenes that he wants to put in. He said one is from the book. I can't even off the top of my head think of what it would be. And then he wants to do one more just completely original scene. And he wants to be creepy as fuck. You probably get Bill Skarsgård back for those.
The supercut will be fucking cool.
Yeah. And it probably is going to happen soon. Just a little update. Next, so Todd Phillips, back to the Joker talk. We should have just done this before, but Todd Phillips shut down theories that Joaquin Phoenix's Joker and Robert Pattinson's Batman exist in the same universe. Says definitely not. And he also then said, too, that they have no plans to make a sequel. He said that was kind of just something that obviously he said something about he would do anything that Joaquin Phoenix wanted to do. But they wrote this story as one movie. And he said the outlets just kind of run with shit like that. So update on that. That kills all of our theories that we had.
I was going to say that is kind of a bummer, though, because like both of their characters are set in the same time.
True.
Same kind of time scale.
Yeah, if this ends up being a 90s noir style movie with the Batman. Yeah, that would line up right after, because this Joker movie apparently starts in the 70s, or it's like late 70s.
Late 70s, yeah.
And that would make sense if Batman was early 90s for it to line up. But I'm okay with it. It's just a new take on the Joker, new take on this character. We're going to keep seeing these forever. Like we've been saying, we've seen how many Batmans? 5, 6, not even including animation.
Yeah, good point. The Joker is an eclectic character that you can remake, and there's a lot to do with him.
Yeah, he's been campy. He's been just psychotic. You can do a lot of different things with it. And
yeah.
Hopefully the movie's good. I'm excited, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was it. Last story. Oh, no, 2 more stories. One other. So NBCU, their new streaming service, got a name. It's Peacock, and it will launch April 2020.
What?
Yeah, it's called Peacock.
Oh, are they peacocking out here?
I think, dude, it's because of their
little logo.
I think because of the logo. Yeah. So that.
What a stupid fucking name, though. Let's be real. Come on. Why would you name it Peacock? Come on, dude. You could have just named it fucking NBC Streams or something like that. Like, Jesus, dude.
NBC Plus just added on like everyone.
Don't give it a name.
Peacock, baby. So. It's going to cost $10, dude. And this shit's not going to have anything on it. These fools think that we're going to go and download this shit for The Office and reruns of like, I can't remember if they got Friends. Just, they got nothing coming to it, dude.
What do they have? Like The Big Bang Theory?
No, The Big Bang Theory got bought by HBO Max for $1 billion, dude.
What?
Who the fuck watches that show?
I've never seen one fucking episode of The Big Bang Theory. Are you serious?
I'm fucking dead serious, dude.
Oh, chumps, dude. Oh my God. That's some chump shit. $1 billion. Whoever fucking signed that deal should be fucking fired right now. Jesus, dude.
You know, the HBO Max execs too were stoked they got this
Dude,
shit.
what in the French fuck were they thinking? Are you serious? Jesus.
Through 2028, that's what they got. HBO has exclusive rights. Dude, I don't know anyone who watches that shit. Maybe that's got to be some old white people shit, man. I don't know who fucking
A
watches
Big Bang Theory?
Yeah.
Did you watch one episode when it aired on TV, when it actually aired?
Not that
Did you ever watch one episode?
You know, it wasn't memorable. I don't remember watching it. You know what I mean? I cannot pinpoint an episode or anything that happened in it. It might have been on at some point. But yeah, no, I've never.
Like, who thought it was that big of a hit? It wasn't.
It somehow was getting, it actually in its run was getting 20-some million plus viewers a day. But think about that. Who's fucking still watches normal TV? Just old people, old white people.
Dude, yeah. It was, and they're all sleeping. Like, they just have the TV on there. They're like probably sleeping.
It's on in the background, yeah. Netflix got Seinfeld. That's actually a decent pickup for them.
What chumps, dude. That is a good pickup because that's a classic, you know.
Yeah, and they just lost The Office, lost Friends, but they paid $500 million, dude. It's like, where's Netflix getting this fucking money, man? Netflix's long-term debt is estimated to be around $12 billion via Variety, reliable source.
Yeah, long-term debt. There's some, I don't know accounting, but there's a difference between like long-term, short-term, and then fucking their cash assets right now.
There has to be a way that they're being able to pay for this shit.
That's just some fucking dumbass number. That's not really like the valuation of the company though.
Yeah. No, their value is still pretty good. It has to be high. I know it took a hit a little bit when all these streaming services were announced, you know, or this year, and then they upped their prices. They took a little bit, they lost a good amount of subscribers, but they're still doing, value-wise, they're still pretty high.
Wait, they lost a good amount of subscribers after what?
I think it was in Q2.
Why would Netflix take a hit? What did they take a hit in? Like from, not in.
Okay, so what happened was they reported their first domestic loss in subscribers in 8 years for the first time. And that dropped their shares a lot.
People were like, oh my God, they're fucked.
They lost $16 billion in market value in the day.
Damn, dude, that would have been the time to buy some stock.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And they're still worth, dude, they have to be worth over 100 billion because it wasn't even that much in their value that they end up losing. But it's a significant chunk if you really think about it.
Some companies are so, dude, Amazon, one fucking share of Amazon's worth $1,000+ right now.
I know. Imagine if you bought that shit back in the day, dude.
Fuck. Dude, they opened at like 30 cents or something like that. It's like, fuck.
That makes me like angry to think about.
Dude, I know. I'm like, come on,
right.
man.
Where did Friends end up? Dude, it's like all these companies are paying this much money for these old ass shows. Make some good new shit.
Dude, I was literally about to say the same thing. Who gives a fuck about these old ass shows? This is just people. All these old shows are literally people put that on in the background when they're doing shit. No one actually rewatches this shit. They're not worth what people are paying.
It's something that you watch when you're going to bed. You can just fall asleep to. You're totally right.
Exactly.
It's crazy. No one's going to get this Peacock shit to watch The Office. I forgot to add too, they're talking about their goal is to reboot The Office. Another little thing. That fucking sounds terrible. Why would you do that?
Different characters,
different actors, different everything.
Actors.
Yeah.
It's stupid, dude. You can't find the same. You just can't do that, dude.
Yeah, that's not going to work. I imagine that.
Too little, too late, buddy guy.
Yeah, for real. You missed out.
If they want to reboot it, they should have done it fucking 6 years ago with the same people.
And it's crazy that NBC probably spent $500 million for The Office rights or more than that probably. And dude, do you even know if people are going to buy your service? So you could be in a huge hole if no one actually gets this shit. And you're making people take $10. No one's getting NBC, dude. No one wants that
shit. $10 is a lot.
Yeah.
For a streaming service. Netflix is $8.99.
Is that for the cheapest one? $8.99?
Yeah. And then what's Amazon Prime?
Amazon Prime, I think, well, we get it because you have an Amazon Prime account, right?
Yeah.
I think it's like $8 if you just wanted Amazon, the movie shit. That's probably it. But I don't even count that one because I would get that anyway because I use Amazon all the fucking time.
Yeah.
But Disney Plus, that's going to be $6.99. That doesn't sound that bad. Hulu, I don't remember Hulu price off the top of my head. Apple Plus, that's going to be $5. That's almost tempting.
So Amazon Prime's fucking $13 a month.
Yeah, and you're getting movies and you're getting all.
And you're getting free shipping.
Yeah, exactly. That's worth it.
Like, that is so fire.
That's a great deal. I'm going to keep Amazon forever.
And you get 2-day shipping.
Exactly, dude. Why would you? That one makes sense. And then we're talking about buying fucking Peacock.
And you're getting the whole fucking, their entire streaming service with that too.
Yeah.
Dude, that's probably the best deal out there. Amazon Prime.
All around deal, definitely. If you never
100%.
shipped or anything like that, then maybe not. But still, even if you just shipped once a month, it's still a better deal than anything.
Dude, but think about it. You always are like, oh shit, I need to buy that. And then you just go to Amazon and buy it real quick. You know?
100%. No, I agree.
That happens all the time.
I imagine that we come back to this, we talk about this now, in 5 years from now, a lot of these streaming services are going to be gone. They're going to be selling all their assets back to these other places.
Probably, dude. Yeah. Peacock
Gone.
is fucking bicock. Like, that's bad.
Goodbye.
It's just bad.
Yeah, that's just not staying. Okay, so that's it on, last topic. So we got a new Watchmen update. We're going to review Watchmen. So if you haven't watched Watchmen, I would recommend going, and you can even look it up online. Just read the novel, the graphic novel. It's really good. You can watch the movie too. There's going to be a little bit difference between the movie and the comics, but Zack Snyder did a pretty good job adapting the comic, in my opinion. So you could also just watch that. Yeah, definitely. So anyway, new update. So Regina King, she's the main character. Her superhero name is going to be Sister Night. She doesn't really have any fucking powers. Robert Redford, at this time in the story, he will be, this is his 28th year being president in this universe.
Robert Redford.
Yeah, like the actor. He becomes president.
I like how they say, instead of Ronald Reagan, it's Robert Redford. They switch RR for RR.
Yeah, exactly. And in this universe, when I want to say it was Nixon who was president during the Vietnam War. Dude, am I wrong? Tell me. Am I wrong on that?
At the end of the Vietnam War, yeah.
Okay, at the end. But so in this universe, they win that war because of Dr. Manhattan. And then he abolishes the amendment that presidents they have to stop being president after 2 terms.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's president in the Watchmen universe for at least 12 years. It could have been more. So that's why it makes sense that he's been president so long in this universe.
Oh.
Yeah. And then some more details that came out today. Cell phones and internet are banned in America at this time. All cars are electric.
What?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That sounds like Russia, not America. Jesus.
All cars are, fuel efficient. Fossil fuels are completely eliminated due to Dr. Manhattan technology when he was still back on Earth. And this is the last 2 are really interesting. Cops can't use their guns without a dispatcher unlocking it. And the police, they all wear the masks. Now we know why the police wear the masks. And it's because they're all targets of a terrorist and white supremacist organizations. Those are like the Rorschach followers we see wearing those masks. And it's because of this thing called the Victims of Racial Violence legislation, which is a lifetime tax exemption for victims of and direct descendants of designated areas of racial injustice throughout America's history. And it directly ties back to this event that was the Tulsa Massacre of 1921, which is a real thing that happened. And it was when mobs of white residents attacked black residents and businesses in Oklahoma, the show is going to be based in Oklahoma too, not in like New York or where the other one was. And in this, originally 36 people were reported that died, but when they looked back into it in 2001, it ended up being more, that they estimated somewhere between 100 and 300 African Americans died. 800 were hospitalized, 800 plus, sorry. And which is crazy fucked up. And it's considered,
what?
Yeah, it's considered the single worst incident of racial violence in American history. So I think it's actually really,
what?
Isn't that crazy? And a lot of people don't know about
Holy fuck. This is a motherfucking terrorist attack is what it sounds like. Like the worst terrorist attack besides 9/11.
Isn't that fucked? And like people don't know about it. And I think it's actually
what? I never knew about that. What the fuck?
Crazy, dude. And it's just cool.
Wait, what happened?
Dude, they just fucking ran up on them. It was just a riot. Started targeting.
But what? Like, were all these people in their homes?
homes, businesses, dude. It was just
They literally just fucking like raped and pillaged like just a bunch of fucking like black neighborhoods.
It's crazy fuck, dude. Yeah.
What the fuck?
And it's wild because
dude, that's the most fucked thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. And it's directly connected to the show. And I think that's kind of cool that they're doing real life history, even though this is an alternate universe kind of thing. But so the setting for this show sounds really, really crazy.
Dude, you still got me fucked. I did not know about that.
Yeah, dude, look into this shit after. Wow.
That was in 1921.
Someone needs to make a movie on that. That shit will get.
That was in 1921.
1921, dude. Less than 100 years ago, this shit happened.
Dude, that's like that might as well be current history.
It is. Yeah.
Holy shit.
So,
did you never hear about that? Like you hear about World War I and World War II more than you hear about that shit.
Yeah. And this is in between them, right? That'd be when World War I in
1918.
Yeah. So in between all that, no one.
That was literally 3 years after that.
Mm-hmm. Fucked up shit, man.
Holy fuck.
But they also hid what really happened. That's what I'm saying is they reported 36 deaths.
Oh, it was like a cover up.
Yeah, kind of, because they reported way less than what happened.
God, dude, that's so fucked.
Yeah, fucked up, man. So that's pretty much the end of this pod. Actually, that's all I got.
What a shitty note to end it on. Thanks, Zach.
I'm sorry, but hey, I had to.
Jesus.
I read it and I was like, damn, we should probably talk about this because we're gonna.
Yeah, can you say something hopeful before we leave?
Well, we got some people who reviewed our pod. That's a little hopeful. Hold on. Let me bring them up.
Wait, let me read them off.
Okay. You want me to see if I can find like a little positive story to end on real quick?
Yeah, you should do that. That is such a bummer, dude. Holy fuck, dude. I never knew about that shit. That's wild.
I know, dude. That's what I'm saying. The show's going to be fucking good.
It's the Tulsa Massacre.
The
Tulsa Riot, 1921. Dude, that literally came up right away. Tulsa Race Riot.
Yeah. Tulsa Massacre of 1921. And they don't even try to call it a massacre. They tried to, call it something else to kind of hide what.
Yeah, they say a race riot. Like it was like two big groups attacking each other.
Yeah, dude, no, it was
holy shit.
Legit hate.
Deaths, it says 30. This is just like a Google search.
Okay.
Deaths 36, and then it says estimated 100 to 300.
Yeah, because they looked back into it.
Yeah, I was going to say it feels like it's being covered up. Mm-hmm. Like it's still being covered up. It feels like. Damn,
dude. I'm looking at all of our recent stories and we fucking did we even covered the Lord of the Rings thing that I didn't bring up.
Dude, we did. Dude, this is a good pod.
Dude, NBC, listen to this. This is just kind of off topic, but that NBC Peacock shit, their reboot shows that they announced with it are Battlestar Galactica and Saved by the Bell. Who gives a fuck?
Oh my God, dude. No one's played Battlestar Galactica since Virgins fucking got fucked and...
That show's been off air forever. Who cares?
Come on, man.
They've tried to reboot that shit. It never worked.
Saved by the Bell?
Yeah, who gives a fuck? No one cared about the Full House reboot. Why would anyone care about this shit?
Dude, what a fucking trash ass goddamn.
For shows, they're including Office, Parks and Rec, SNL, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, 30 Rock, Frasier, and Cheers. Those were the notable ones. Oh, this is actually huge. Last story. This is the last story. Okay. So Robert Downey Jr. will reportedly appear as Tony Stark in Black Widow. I'm thinking it's just going to be some reused footage, some bullshit like that. Yeah, agreed?
Oh, yeah, probably. You don't think they're going to bring him back? Have him shoot something?
Fuck no, not this soon. That'd be a bad move, I think.
Fuck no.
You kill him off and then you just bring him back a year later because you're so worried that no one's going to watch your movies again now that he's out.
Yeah, that's true. That's a dick tease.
It's kind of a weak move. So it's just going to be some bullshit, old recycled stuff. I think they even showed him in the Black Widow footage that was released at SCCC or D23 or something like that. He was kind of in a clip of him telling Natasha to run. So it could just be that. Maybe it's a little more footage. It's not going to be anything big. He's not really going to be in it. Glorified cameo, basically. Okay, so that's it. Wrapping it up. Let me go to the reviews. You sound like your Joker laugh right there. That's like your little Joker laugh. You sound like Joaquin.
Joaquin, dude. Shout out to at Braxton Sean for the review on our Apple podcast.
Yeah, thanks, dude. I might follow him on Twitter. He says, hey, follow me on Twitter. I'll do that.
All right, we'll follow you. Love you, guy. Yeah, follow us on, or give us a review. Follow us. Give us a review on Apple or Google or wherever you stream this motherfucking shit. We'll shout you out.
Little shizit. Follow us on Twitter too, at Not a Movie Pod, at Culture Craves. So Culture Craves is where we tweet out the news. Not a Movie Pod is more of our podcast related shit. Let's see what else. We're going to review Ad Astra. Brad Pitt's next movie is getting great reviews. We're reviewing it this week. If you like original movies and you're tired of reboots and fucking remakes and sequels, go see it. It's an original movie. If people go out and see this kind of shit, we're going to keep getting original movies. So
yeah, support your local director. Come on, guys.
Yeah, come on, guys. Jeez. Brad Pitt, great actor. Go see him. So we're going to review that next pod. We'll be back with Ross. Probably record Sunday after he's done moving in and everything. That's
Hustle
it.
up.
All right, we out.
All right. Peace.